is fun. Have to adjust my imaginary mic. So, hey everybody, this is my second time doing this, so it'd be great if everybody laughs. Great, this is already, I don't need this. This is already going better than last time. This is last time I said this is my first time doing this, so nobody laughed. And they didn't. But that being said, like, this is a comedy show. There is like an expectation that there's people behind me, that you're gonna laugh. But so you laugh at a lot of things, and a lot of them just aren't funny. I know, I'm one of you. Like, we laugh at things that are just stupid. So I'm gonna be throwing in some things that just aren't funny, just to make sure that you're all paying attention. So, have you heard about that Malaysian airline? Oh, for fuck's sake, guys, it's a tragedy! Okay. Alright, let's see. So let's see. I think it's so cool that this thing came out, because this is, no, I mean, they've been publishing this thing forever. This is it's about Alaska, and I'm from Alaska, so I thought it was really cool that my school acknowledged me, which is awesome. And so I wrote some jokes about the place that I'm from, the great state of Alaska. All right, so first of all, everyone in Alaska is insane. That's just a fact. The only reason that anyone would ever be in Alaska is because you're crazy, or because you have no other, like, you don't have a choice to be there. So there's crazy people and the children of the crazy people. And the hostages. Or the hostages and the children of the crazy place. It's a crazy place. So the town that I'm from, it's right across a little bit of water from an active volcano, because we're crazy. And, I work in the tourism industry. I love explaining this to tourists, because I'll say, yeah, there's this volcano and it's active and it goes off every 10 years. And if it sloughs into the ocean, a giant tidal wave will destroy this entire city and everyone will die. And then they say some stupid shit like, so, what are you doing to prevent that? And I found that's the mentality that people have about nature here on the East Coast. People on the East Coast don't understand nature. For an example, I brought an example. What the fuck is this? Do you recognize the Crumb Creek That is what people here think about nature. That is this thing that you can kind of package up in vinyl, the most harmful possible substance. So apparently it costs $30,000. It's already gone over budget too. Wildly expensive, and it's just a bunch of plastic hanging from metal beams. But I've been looking at it, and I think I understand why it's so expensive now. For starters, it's glowing blue. I understand they're supposed to make it glow blue. I think they have the lights in there. They don't work yet. Secondly, the sky is purple. That's really hard to do. It's my favorite part of this right now. I'm really looking forward to this turn the sky purple. Also, there's people appreciating the... I assume they're all hired actors. If you look close enough, one of them's wearing a college sweatshirt. It's not our college. Supposedly people are going to come here to appreciate it. That's not happening. I was playing in it today. I'm appreciating it. I invented something called the meander phone. It's where you roll up the plastic and you blow into it like a horn. It's really annoying, but some people from the Ville walked by, and I heard one of them say to the other, well, at least someone's made something useful out of it. So that's what nature's like here. But that's not what nature's like where I'm from. Where I'm from, nature will try to kill you. that's really the biggest difference between Alaska and anywhere else is the nature tries to kill you. And so that's sort of what I grew up with, and like this stays with you. It doesn't leave you. You are scarred when you leave Alaska. If you can leave Alaska. If you didn't miss that, I forgot that the mic wasn't on. So yeah, even now, if I'm walking in the woods and I hear a rustling, I'll be like, "Get away! Get away! I'll save you!" Anyway, because there's bears. And okay, no, this stuck with me. I went to Germany once. I was in this school in Germany, really old school. I had a kind of old bell system that would make a sort of do 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 in between every single class. I'm from Alaska, where we have a volcano that's going to destroy the city. And the sign that the volcano is about to destroy the city is do. So after my first period class, this thing goes off, do 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 do, and I flip shit. Everybody, get to the hills! We were 500 miles from the ocean. 500 miles. That was my first day of class. Everyone thought I was an idiot. Luckily, someone still talked to me that day. That was an interesting day. A couple people came and talked to me after class because the teacher made them. That was really nice of her. Yeah, the ocean just never left me that day. So these people came up to me, I guess it was after school, and they said, "I guess you're new to town, do you want us to like show you around?" And I was like, "Oh, that's really nice of our teacher to thank you to say." I guess I need some more clothes. You see, like I'd flown from Alaska, and like I needed a winter coat, or as we call them in Alaska, summer coat. I needed a winter coat, and I pushed like most of my other clothes out of my bag, so I need some more clothes. And they're like, "Okay, I guess we can help you find some more clothes." And so they took me like to the mall. It's like a big city. We're walking through this big city mall. Walk by an H&M, and they're like, "Hey, that looks like it has clothes." I'm like, "Nah, this is not what you're looking for." And we keep on walking. We walk by Zara's. I'm like, "Hey, that looks like it has clothes." I'm like, "That's not what you're looking for." I was like, "Wow, these guys have really good taste." And so like we kept on walking through this mall. Every single clothing store I got to, I was like, "What about that?" And they're like, "Nah, that's not what you're looking for." We got through the entire mall, and they said, "Okay, we've been through the entire mall. I don't think that we're gonna find what you're looking for." I was like, I just want some clothes, like to wear, like every day." And they're like, "Wait, what? You want clothes?" It turns out my German was bad enough that I said, "Yeah, I just got to town. I need a scuba suit." I think the weird part about this story is how like unfazed they are. This guy comes to town, flips out about a tsunami, and then asks for a scuba suit. And they're just like, "Oh, another one of these boring class." They didn't ask me, "Oh, we don't live in the ocean. Where the fuck are you gonna go scuba diving?" I didn't know that. I was so entirely written off, but yeah. It was nice of them to do that. I mean, that was still the best interaction that I ever had. All right, so in Alaska, just like I'm in this place where we, we fight with our elements. They tries to kill us. We try and kill it back. That's the only reason that we have oil. Get back in that nature. There's also parts of it that we totally embrace. Sports in Alaska, really intense, really intense. Sports in Alaska are completely different from anywhere else. Turns out most of it, I think, is because of bar bets. Someone's like, "I bet you could run up that mountain," and someone else is like, "Fucking watch me." He runs up a mountain. And if he can do this enough times in a row without dying, then it becomes a sporting event, a tradition. Otherwise, he just gets a plaque. There's lots of those types. So we have a lot of, I didn't know that as a child. So as a child, I just sort of assumed that there was like this crazy guy who like worked for the governor, like the sports commissioner, who would just come up with insane sporting events. So we have a race near my house. I'll just describe how I thought this race came to be. Someone was like, or the governor said, "Sports commissioner, we need a race around Homer, Alaska. How do you think we should make this race?" And the sports commissioner said something like, "All right, I have a great idea for a race. It's going to go from Homer to Soldotna." And the guy says, "Okay, wow, 70 miles along the road, that's pretty far." He says, "No, we can make it shorter. We'll just make it 60 miles. And he says, "How are you going to do that? The road's 70 miles. He says, "We'll go through the mountains." He says, "Okay, there's not a path through the mountains." They said, "Okay, we'll have to wait until it snows. Then we'll have the race in the snow, and it will be a bike race." Snow, because that'll be fun. And the governor's like, "Okay, we can have one of those, but don't you think we should also have a bike race in the summer maybe?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got the perfect thing. It'll be from Fairbanks to Anchorage." I says, "Can we please have this one on the road?" Yeah, on the road. It'll only be 250 miles. And to make it like really fun, you aren't allowed to use your hands. That's allowed. You can't use your hands. Everyone's like, that's impossible. Okay, I got a new one. No feet allowed. You can't use your feet. You can't use your feet at all. So we have now Alaska hand cycling too. It's like, all right, okay, how about one more? Maybe not another bicycle race. He's like, "Okay, I got this great thing. I just invented this thing. You take like 50 dogs, you tie them to a wagon, and then you race them." I said, "Okay, that sounds good. So like, how far do you want to race these?" It's like, "How about from Anchorage to Nome?" I said, "You can't run a wagon from Anchorage to Nome. It's a marsh." I said, "Okay, well then we'll run it on the snow and we'll make it a sled again in the snow." And he said, "Okay, how long should we have it?" 1,000 miles. Good, you passed the second test. That was much less funny. That was much funnier than Malaysian Airlines, which happens to be a tragedy in your own monsters. But it's less funny than children keeping hostages. Alright, so there's also a few downsides to Alaska. It's not particularly diverse, though this article actually did have some nice things to say about diversity. People would be surprised how integrated Alaska is. It's not a race or class paradise by any means, but there's a sense that we're all in this together. In winter, if your car's in the ditch, you're going to need to get help getting out. And when you get help, it's not like you're going to care what ethnicity he is or what religion he is. Isn't that beautiful? We're all in this together because otherwise we would die. And he's right, Alaska is really integrated. I'm from a small town, but I found that the black person in our town integrated very well. That good at talking about race. You see, one summer it was sunny, and I got a tan, and one of my friends who known me for like 5 years at this point said, "Theo, you're really tan. I liked you better when you were white." To which I responded, "Actually, my family's from Puerto Rico. I'm Hispanic." And she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "No, it's okay. There's like a billion of us. We're fine with it." Good, you passed the third test. All right, there's another bad thing about Alaska. There's a high teen pregnancy rate. So you have, to sort of like counter teen pregnancy, as a red state, so rather than countering teen pregnancy with like contraceptives, we spread rural legends. It's what we call urban legends in Alaska. Spread urban legends. Tell a bunch of stories about vagina dentata, you know, that there's like teeth and vaginas all like teeth. Yeah, and then everyone started having oral sex. So then they had to come up with vagina, with dentata vagina, vaginas in your teeth. That was the fourth test and you failed. There's nothing funny about vaginas and teeth. They're just vaginas and teeth, and then you put them together so that one is inside the other. What's funny about that? You laughed. It's not funny. Marissa,
going. What is funny about a vagina in a tooth?